Hey everyone, this is Raven from Pressing the Panic Button, and today I've got a video that I think a lot of us can relate to. So as we know, school is starting back. I'm personally back in classes, but there's other people that'll be starting maybe tomorrow or next week or somewhere within the next couple of months. And especially if you're an anxiety sufferer also, you know that anxiety plus school equals Here are a few anxiety school survival tips that I have for you. And this doesn't matter whether you're in middle school, high school, college. I think these tips can relate pretty well to all of them. Number one, know what your school's resources are. Most, if not all schools, have some kind of guidance counselor. They may not exactly do the kind of counseling that is needed, but some schools have counselors that you can talk to about anxiety and whatever other issues. And some colleges do. I know that we have the Student Development Center, which is for basically counseling, help with any kind of mental illness, stuff like that. So figure out what your resources are and what is available for there to help you. Number two is always have a plan of action. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean for a plan of action is if you know your anxiety is going to act up, if you know that you're going to have panic attacks, or they just pop up out of the clear blue, have an idea of what you're going to do. I will link my video that I made previously about what to do before, during, and after a panic attack, because a lot of those tips will fit into figuring out a plan of action for whenever you're at school. And then otherwise, I know some things I personally do is I will usually have a couple of items with me. Okay, so the first thing I personally keep is what I call a panic stick. It is basically a mix of essential oils with beeswax and coconut oil, and this is great for panic attacks. It looks like this. It's yellow. And what you do is you apply it to your wrist, rub it together. You can also apply it to your temples, and it helps to bring your anxiety back down. I mean, if you don't use essential oils, that's cool. If you do, use whatever blend of oils that you like. Firstly, this was a Young Living, and I believe, if I remember everything right, it has lavender. Well, let me smell it. I think it has lavender, peace and calming, maybe a little bit of stress away, and definitely joy. But if you want to make your own, you can find recipes on Pinterest on how to do it, on how to mix up the right amount of oils and stuff. And I just have it in a chapstick container because it's a lot easier to carry around and apply, but put in whatever container you want. The second item that I'd suggest, that's probably a lot easier for people to get, is some kind of fidgety or anxiety toy. Something you can do with your hands. Personally, I have this little stress ball. It looks like a rabbit. It's really cute. I actually got this from a convention I went to because if you know this channel, I am a cosplayer. I named it Minion. What I like about Minion is that it is a stress ball, so you can squeeze it, and then because it's made out of a furry material, it's great for tactile stimulation, so I'll do this a lot. But anything, you could get like those ADHD fidget toys. I've heard those are really good. I also like, there's this chain toy you can get at like the Dollar Tree, where the goal is to separate the two pieces and put them back together. I personally like those so I can just fidget around with them. So if you have some kind of fidget toy that's not very loud, so we'll put it that way because schools won't like it if it's really loud. Oh, another great one that I did in high school was Silly Putty. So you could just like squish it, mold it. I used it to survive my calculus class and it was awesome. And plus, if you are one that tends to just fidget a lot with your hands or like wiggle your leg or whatever, then having a fidget toy can help distract yourself and direct that energy to something a little easier or a little less distracting, mainly for you. The third thing is have a good support system. Because fighting a mental illness is tough enough. But if you don't have anybody that you can have for support, then that just sucks. So of course we talked about guidance counselors, if there's any. But you can also, parents, if your parents understand, your friends. I know personally, a group of friends I have, we all support each other because all of us suffer with a mental illness. So a group of friends helps. Social media. I know personally, I get a lot of help through, a lot of support through my Instagram, and of course through making these videos. And there are all sorts of different YouTubers and social media people you can follow and get support from, and it's fantastic. And of course, the fourth and final thing is remember to breathe. Breathing is good for you, as we all know. Oxygen into your system. Without oxygen, you don't live. And living is good. You're here on this earth for a reason. If you were not here, if you weren't meant for a reason, you would not have been born. That's the way I see things. So always remember to breathe. Do deep breathing. It's one of the best ways you can calm your anxiety down and it not seem like a big deal. Because let's face it, a lot of people get very stressed out and maybe a little anxious because anxiety is something that's normal for people to have a little bit of it. But if you have a lot of it, like, you know, having an anxiety disorder, then it's completely different. So always remember to breathe. Deep breaths. Try box breathing. I also describe in my panic attack video what box breathing is. And essentially it's you inhale, hold your breath, exhale, and hold your breath for the same amount of time each. Usually I do 4 to 5 seconds, but you do what your lungs can handle. So I hope that these tips have helped you guys, and I really hope that they will help you to have a somewhat easier school year, because let's face it, school is tough. So if you'd like to, please, subscribe, comment, share this video with your anxiety friends going through school, because everybody needs a little bit of support, don't we all? So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I shall see you later. Bye!